Hello and welcome to another episode of IPL Titbits with Gully Cricket. And today on the panel we have my good old friend Mr. Nishit Koti. Hey Koti, how are you doing?
Hi Nishit.
Hi Manas, hi Shaz. It's great
Yeah,
to be the first time. I've been part of your show for a while now, by being a participant, but it's great to be on the panel. Looking
yeah,
forward.
welcome. We are also happy
Thank
to have
you.
you. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
Surely looking forward to all the curveball questions that I may be getting. I hope to dodge them, but let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Sure, sure.
So let's start with the easy one. So you live in Hyderabad and you studied in Bangalore. So happy that both your teams won yesterday?
It's such a. I expected such a question to come my way. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
still give me a lot of, if I can use the S word, a lot of dash, whatever. That you're a person born in Hyderabad, but you live in Bangalore, you support Bangalore. But all said and done, I think we've had two good games yesterday to surprising that SRH could win yesterday, and it's really interesting that we had Abhishek Sharma perform the way he did yesterday. And coming to us, at least it wasn't one of the classic games where you get reminded of Danish State's famous image of something that he put up, where it comes down to the last moment, comes down to the wire. It wasn't such a game against Anuj Rawat, but all in all, the games yesterday.
Yeah. So great to know that. And so let's go in order. So Shaz, the first game yesterday was between two sides which were desperately looking for a win. And unfortunately, CSK still didn't manage to get one. So the previous time CSK was playing like this, it was when they missed Raina in the playing 11, and same is the case now. So we know Raina, right? He's like known as Mr. IPL for like a reason.
Yes, yes.
And when you need him, he'll play like an anchor, and when the required run rate demands, he'll start smashing the ball as well. So don't you think CSK is like seriously missing the service of Raina here?
Yes, I would say, as you mentioned, he's a team player. He plays according to the situation, and he'll do whatever it is for the team. He's a fantastic fielder, a useful off spinner, and you already know his exploits with the bat. I think he's one of those players who's consistently scored over 400 runs in IPL for quite a few seasons. That shows how good a performer he is. Now it was a surprise for all of us in the auction that no one bid for him, and a team for which he has been loyal for almost like 10 years. Even they didn't bid for him. So it was a surprise for everyone. Yeah, you can see they're struggling. In both the departments, in batting as well as bowling. Not everything is coming together for them. They're missing the services of Deepak Chahar because he's one of the experienced bowlers that they have. And you see young players like Mukesh Chowdhury and all, they're trying to do their best, but unfortunately it's not coming off for them. But yeah, as Nishit mentioned, Abhishek Sharma did play a really good knock, on that pitch, which was not very easy to bat on. But he made sure that he took the pressure of Kane Williamson, and SRH won it quite comfortably in the end.
Yep. So CSK did pay a lot of bucks for Deepak Chahar, and we hope they bounce back soon because it's still early stages in the tournament and there's a long way to go. So coming to SRH batting, SRH was a team that we spoke about yesterday, like how their batting lineup needs a revamp, and they didn't do it, but they still managed to win by 8 wickets. Going ahead, Koti, do you think this strategy will work out for them?
I think it's too early to tell with the way SRH has been functioning. SRH was always known as a bowling outfit for years now, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, they haven't performed that way as well in the last two games. Like we've seen them play. But like I said, I think it's too early to tell. But they're definitely showing the intent on improving their batting and trusting Abhishek Sharma to go at number one definitely paid them off. The pressure would probably lift up once they consistently perform and they see if Abhishek and Kane can put together big runs on the board. But it'll be interesting to see how a unit that's always been known for their bowling prowess changes out to be somewhere that, you know what, they can also manage a goal, they keep the total under 140 or probably could go very good chasing. But like I said, it'll be too early to tell. It's too soon.
Yeah. So let's hope the best for these youngsters. And Shaz, we saw 50 ball 75, and then later in the day we saw 47 ball 66. So these two were unknown for like from few years ago, but yesterday they have won the match for their respective teams. Like every other season of IPL, this season is also about fresh talent, isn't it?
Yes, as you know, the caption of the IPL says where talent meets opportunity. So these guys have got an opportunity, and both of them have grabbed it with. They've grabbed it with both hands. Uh, yeah, Abhishek Sharma has been there in the fray for a few years now. Like I think he initially represented Delhi, then he made his move to SRH, and you're talking about Anuj Rawat as well. It is his first season. Again, a player who has been backed by FAF pretty much, and he had got a few scores of 20s in the previous games. But then yesterday, the way he took over the responsibility and made sure that he was almost there till the end of the game would give him a lot of confidence. And the thing was, more than boundaries, he was able to hit a lot of sixes, and he seemed to be in control of those shots. So that augurs well for him as well as Indian cricket as well.
Yep. So as you mentioned, Faf backed him, and RCB has been known for the chopping all these years. And with captaincy moving on to Faf, we are seeing this CSK kind of behavior where they back their players. Excited about this, Chas?
Yes, definitely. I mean, see, once you realize the potential in a player, you need to make sure that you give him full support. We've seen a classic case of what happened with Ruturaj Gaikwad last year. He didn't perform like for 5 to 6 games, but I think it was the year before that, in fact. And then he was dropped for a few games, but then he was again given a chance when CSK did not have hopes of qualifying. And then what happened? He performed in the next 4 games, the last games, and in the last season he was their top run scorer. So this is what it shows, that if you back a player and if you believe in his talent and if you give him consistent opportunities, then it might pay off. So it's good in a way if you have a set playing 11 which will work well in most of the conditions. So that will give confidence to the management as well as the captain going forward.
So, Koti, with that, the captaincy pressure is also off Virat, and we saw some classic shots from him. Now that he's a free man, can we expect more of these?
Oh yes, I mean, as an RCB fan, or at least someone who's been looking at how the way RCB has been performing, and also if I can add how Virat's salt and pepper hair has been showing for the last few years, definitely we've seen all the captains get that. I hope going forward we get to see Virat being a lot more free with the kind of cricket he plays, because there's no, like you said, there's no pressure on him to manage the field or to see who goes when. And also it's interesting to see that Virat's coming quite early on. I remember there was a recent interview where he mentioned that when Siddharth Malia called upon Virat Kohli, he mentioned, you know what, I'm going to be the person batting four. It's interesting to see where Virat's coming in now. At least yesterday it was interesting. I really hope going forward we see one of the old magic moments that we used to see, where Virat and Chris Gayle or Virat and AB de Villiers. I hope something of that comes back. I'm really waiting for a good standing partnership between at least Virat and Maxwell. If it comes down to that situation, we haven't seen that so far, but I really hope we get the best out of him.
Yeah, so that was a wonderful knock from Virat, and like he missed on his well-deserved 50 by like 2 runs. So Shaz, talking about that wicket, the ball clearly deflected after touching the bat. Even the commentators felt so, and but the umpire did not have conclusive evidence, so he ruled it out. So the match was in final stages, so it did not matter much. But in certain cases, it could change the outcome of the game. What's the solution for this?
Yes, definitely. I mean, you could clearly see the deflection, as you mentioned. The issue that umpire faced in this particular situation was that the impact of the bat and the pad was almost simultaneous. So that is what he even mentioned when he was on live. So that is why he couldn't overturn the decision. Now this is something probably that the BCCI has to look, because they've said that they've trained the umpires to make sure that such mistakes don't happen, because this, as you said, it can be a game-changing decision. And we've also had Iceland cricket, mocking this particular decision with a tweet as well. So yeah, let's hope that they find something in order to avoid such errors in the future, so that it doesn't cost a game for any team.
Yep. So over with RCB, let's move on to the Mumbai Indians batting.
Yeah, you
So
want to add something, Nishit?
Koti wanted.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, like you mentioned about Virat Kohli, the wicket, the decision yesterday, it was quite serious. I mean, you could see the frustration or the furiousness that he had when he was bought. And I really like the point you mentioned that I hope you really hope that BCCI looks into it. There's some sort of a concrete or like something substantial builds upon it so that we can avoid something like that in the future. I just wanted to mention one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, moving on to the Mumbai Indians innings. At a point, Mumbai was 50 for 0, slipped to 62 for 5, and then one man took it to 151 for 6. Although he was running out of partners, Suryakumar took Mumbai to a respectable total. So, Koti, take us through that chase, take us through that inning, and mention how important was this knock from Surya.
I think like the moment you mentioned Kumar Yadav, everyone gets reminded of Maya Hona, that gesture he did
Yeah.
in the past.
Yeah,
And
last time when they played RCB.
exactly, it was really interesting that something of that sort has come back, probably deja vu or something. But
Mhm.
it's interesting that Mumbai being such a strong team that we've seen in the past, and we've also seen the pattern where Mumbai loses initial few games and then they bounce back real hard. But yesterday you could definitely see that Mumbai was missing strong talent like Hardik Pandya and Surya Kumar Yadav. Like you said, he wasn't having a support to keep up the score, but it is because of Surya Kumar Yadav that Mumbai could at least reach a respectable total of 150 yesterday. Or else, I'm sure it would have been less than 100. They could have got all out, and it would be a very easy score for RCB to chase. But with 150 that they scored, it was still nowhere a solid target, which would still be pretty hard to defend. But what we also got to see is the depth of RCB's batting lineup yesterday. It could be like what it could go on. But I really hope the way things are going forward, Surya Kumar Yadav would be the strong point that holds the team together. And I really hope he also makes it to the World Cup going forward.
Yes, I mean, just adding to Nishit, see, he should be there in both the T20 and the ODI format. There's no doubt about it, because these are players who can just change games in a few overs. All right, because yeah, they just have like extraordinary capability of playing certain shots, which is just possible by them. So in fact, I still remember that six hit of Siraj, I think, in the final over, where he just scooped it over the third man. I mean, those are not easy shots to play, and he does it with so much ease. So that is what, and the confidence level that he has is what uh, is so astonishing. So for a player to be that confident that he can take a team, to a good position and also be there till the end is something that Indian cricket should take note of and make sure that he's there for the long run.
Yep. So that knock also meant that RCB could not chase it quick enough to increase the net run rate by a substantial
Yeah.
margin, and this could come into effect later on. So after a great day of cricket yesterday with two matches, today again we have a double header. So the first match is between KKR and Delhi Capitals. Now, Shaz, both the teams are kind of similar, where one opener is firing and then it's up to the finishers. What do you think? They have talent in between. Shouldn't these players, say Warner, Mandeep, or in the opposite team, Rahane and Shreyas, take up more responsibility and take off some pressure from the finishers?
Yes, definitely. Both the teams would be hoping for the same. Though KKR would be in a better position considering that they have been winning games as well. Mentally, they would be in a better position. As you said, Shreyas has been short of runs. Being a captain, they also expect him to score a little bit more runs for his own confidence, and also so that he can take that confidence while captaining the team as well. And Rahane being a seasoned pro and also getting the best use where he's getting to bat in the first 6 overs should actually try and capitalize and get some runs on the board so that as you said, the dependency on the finishers will reduce at the same time, so that because we all know what an extraordinary knock Cummins played in the last game. Otherwise it might have been curtains for them. And also an option for maybe considering Sunil Narayan to bat at the top, because he's done well before as well. And maybe send Rahane one down where he can play the anchor role as well, and play the spinners. But considering that there are a few matchups, where Kuldeep has troubled Ajinkya Rahane before, and Mustafizur has got Russell out a few times. He's been successful. So maybe these are the things that Rishabh Pant can think of in order to, curtail the Kolkata Knight Riders.
Yeah, Kuldeep has certainly troubled Rahane, but we should not forget that Rahane has an average of 65 against DC, and he scored over 784 runs. So,
okay.
Yeah, let's hope for the best.
Because
and,
since T20 is a game of matchups, so I thought of mentioning that.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. So KKR have been winning games and are at the top of the table. But today is the first game of this season at Brabourne. And in the past, they have played 2 games there and have lost both of them. So do you think a change in venue will change things for KKR? What do you think, Koti?
I think I kind of expected, but I don't think this should be a case where venue change is going to affect them. And like you say, if I remember correctly, they played a Bravo ages ago. It wasn't any time in the recent past. It was long back.
2010, I guess.
Correct. So that's a good 12 years away. And it's great to see Brabourne being put to use. And also, it's interesting to see that Mumbai being the host for like IPL being played in a single city in India. I think it's one of the first times that we're seeing again. But all said and done, KKR has been a team that's been going across the country, or probably across different nations as well, playing a game. And I don't expect that a change in to affect them. I don't think that playing in Brabourne should bring back anything of the past. And given how they've been doing so far, I really expect them being such a strong team so far to do really well in today's game. And let's see if third time's a charm for them at Brabourne.
Yeah, sure. And now they have a good player in Sunil Narayan as well, who we didn't have that time. Talking about that, it's a day match. Dew should not be a problem today. And we have Narayan on one end and Kuldeep on other end. So, Koti, do you think spin is going to be the key tonight?
And I think, irrespective of considering whether the pitch is going to be spinning or not, like you said, Sunil Narayan's been a winner for a long time. He's been a strong asset for KKR. He's been a good season, and if things go well, probably he could be one of the greatest assets for them in today's game. And like you said about Kuldeep Yadav, again, these two players are one of the good assets for the team. And it's also interesting to see that Kuldeep is playing against his ex-team. And I hope there is some sort of a score to settle when he comes in on the game. But I'm expecting there shouldn't be a difference. I'm really looking forward to them going head against head. So let's see.
Yeah, we are all looking forward for the game. And coming to the night match at the high-scoring Divya Patil, we know that we all know about the LSG firepower, and at the opening slot, Deacock and Rahul both are breathing fire, and the lineup after that is also like Evan Lewis, Huda, and Badoni. So, isn't it high time that they all clicked and start putting up huge total, Shaz?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. They didn't manage to chase a score of more than 200 against CSK. So that is only possible if you have firepower in your ranks. And as you mentioned, if they do get a chance to bat first, they should be able to post a score of 180, considering the depth that they have as well. But T20 doesn't work like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this guy Badoni, because he's one young talent who Rahul also backs a lot, and he's shown what he's capable of, because he's come in like tricky situations, especially in the first game, along with Huda, made sure that LSG got to a competitive total, which they could almost defend as well. But coming back, yeah, he's also won like the next match against CSK as well. He came in a tricky situation, and and the thing about him is he can also play 360 degrees, so which is an added benefit for a player profile. So yeah, and they'll be taking on Rajasthan, who's got a solid team as well. They've got a lot of depth in their batting. Butler, I think, is someone whom they would want to revolve on, considering his experience and his T20 exploits. So it'll be a very interesting game to watch in the night as well.
Yes, definitely. So talking about Rajasthan, Koti, Rajasthan started big and ultimately fell short in the last game against RCB. But they do have a lot of informed players, not just with the bat, also with the ball. So, what do you think? Do you expect them to bounce back today and get on the winning track?
Oh, definitely. If there's one team that I think, as a person who's been watching cricket, I mean, not like you guys, how you guys watch every day and day in and day out, who's been watching cricket, I really think our Rajasthan is one team that I would be careful with. Well, like given how strong they are, looking at the previous game, it's crazy. You have Sanju Samson, you have Tewatia, you have Josh Butler. It's absolutely crazy.
Tewatia is playing for Gujarat.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
My bad. Sorry. Yeah.
You have
Josh
Yashasvi
Butler,
Jaiswal, who's not
Yashasvi
fired yet.
Jaiswal, correct.
Yeah.
Yashasvi Jaiswal, and we also should. There's one point that we have to regret, that we don't have Devdutt Padikkal, and
Devdutt.
now they have the strong point of Devdutt Padikkal. I really expect that Rajasthan would bounce back today. And looking at how Lucknow Super Giants is, and like you mentioned, DY Patil's been a high scoring ground. I don't think anything less than 180 as a score would be a good match here. I'm really expecting Rajasthan also, even if they're batting second, to really go up and chase against that. And like Shaz mentioned, they would be really looking to pivot around Josh Butler and use his expertise here. And let's see how this game goes. I think amongst the two games today, I think Rajasthan's game is what I would be looking forward to more than the other.
Yep. So, some excellent points put out by you two. And yesterday's game was a game of youngsters. Both the matches won by youngsters, and like, they were the man of the match. Today as well, we have some excellent talents playing. So, with that, we conclude our video. And I think nobody
we hope
expected.
Some people get it right. Yeah.
I don't think anybody would expect it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, keep predicting. And today, please try to put up some new names. Like we have Ayush Badoni, and in the other team we have Jaiswal as well. So we have a man of the match contest. So Shaz, can you please tell the details?
Yeah. Kindly predict the man of the match whom you feel within the starting of the second innings. Start of the first ball of the second innings, and the person whoever gets it right will be getting an Amazon voucher the next day, and the winners will be announced in the next show.
Yep. So that's all you have to do, guys. So with that, we close our video. Thank you, Cody, once again for joining us. Viewers, please keep watching, sharing, and keep commenting.
Subscribing.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yep.